We live in a weird world of turmoil. Those who ignore the suffering of today claim that they can build tomorrow in the name of humanity. The technologies and the virtual worlds that are created for humanity eventually create more great problems for humanity. In our daily lives, while we spend our time to make our living, in addition to following our ambitions to achieve our goals for a better environment, better living conditions, a better home, a better car, better education, more delicious foods, and more beautiful clothes, do we think that 8 billion of people live for the same goals? We easily forget that there are billions of people who cannot even imagine this life, which we irresponsibly consume. There are 690 million of people in the world who are on the verge of hunger. 35 million of people die each year because of reasons related to hunger. 2 billion of people cannot access clean water, while 840 million of people cannot find potable water. 800 children die each year because of reasons related to lack of water. The population of other living creatures in our world declined 68% in the last 30 years. The droughts and climate change deeply affect our world. People who had to abandon their lands because of war and cruelty exceed 82 million. It is as if the cruelty and tears surround everywhere around us. Mothers cry everywhere. Families live in the streets and they are freezing. The children who are supposed to play and run in joy die because of bombs without even understanding what just happened. One side is lit, but the other side is dark. One side laughs, and the other side is always sad. We have to stop even for a while, regardless of how dazzling the time passes. We should stop and help the sad and timid people to lift them up by holding their hands. Our prophet, Mercy to the Worlds, stated, "The best person among the people is the one who is beneficial to the people." As the hope and bearer of good tidings, our prophet helped the lost travelers and held the hands of the oppressed and the downtrodden in the pre-Islamic age of ignorance, where other people used to bury the female children alive. Orphans smiled with him, and abandoned people found peace with him. He was Beşir for all of humanity. We learned humanity and living humanely for him. Now, under his guidance, we're working hard to become Beşirs for humanity. As the grandchildren of the civilization of foundations, if there are children dying of hunger and thirst, we shall be the first to run to help. If there are helpless people in the face of natural disasters, we shall be the first to hold their hands. We shall be the Ansar for the Muhajirs, who escaped from oppression, cruelty, and death. We shall be the spring that pours onto the arid soil for chapped lips. We shall be the wall for tired bodies to lean to, be their warm home. As Bashirs, we have been touching the lives to win millions of hearts in the last 10 years. We cry and laugh together. We deliver the donations entrusted to us by the donators to those who really need to be the means to their happiness. We live the abundance of Ramadan together. We visit each home to set the biggest Ramadan table in their hearts. We continue to deliver the meat of animals, which are sacrificed by us during Eid al-Adha on your behalf to our brothers and sisters who are waiting for us at the furthest corners of the world. Having increased our aid for the families in need during the pandemic, we support them with food packages complemented by cleaning and hygiene packages. In scope of our Qualified Humane Aid model, we provide families with Bashir Support Card so they can buy their basic needs from the markets on their streets or via internet. And this application brought a breath of fresh air to the aid services. We support families who are having a hard time by providing families of loaves of bread from our bakeries and hundreds of thousands of meals from our meal centers. We reach these poor people who cannot get treatment because of the lack of medicine and health services in the suffering geographical areas to medically examine them and to provide them with medicine. We provide clean drinking water for the people thanks to our anti-drought projects so that they can access clean water at their local living areas without overcoming long distances. We become the water for the arid soil and the chapped lips who cannot find drinking water in many suffering geographical areas, mainly including the African countries. We put every effort to ensure that all children, mainly including our orphans, can receive good education thanks to the education buildings we built or supported, including the nursery schools and universities. Having built tent cities for families during the emergencies, now we're able to build briquette houses and bamboo cities to provide permanent and cozy houses for 10,000s of families. We saved the displaced families from their unsound shelters, and now they live in peace in their new and cozy houses which we provided. Our country is situated in a geography where earthquakes, floods, avalanches, and fires occur frequently. As Beşirs, we have completed our accreditation process in 3 different fields in scope of Turkish Disaster Intervention Plan, and we continue our works with trained teams in addition to our experiences we gained during our aids for the victims of disaster that occurred at various parts of the world, including our country as of 2011 Van earthquake. We have a meal capacity of 10,000 people a day in scope of Nutrition Service Group. We are at the disposal of our citizens 7/24 with our mobile meal center and mobile treat vehicles. We have more than 2,000 volunteers who have completed their trainings provided by AFAD within the body of our more than 150 representation offices throughout the country, in addition to our search and rescue teams who continuously develop their expertise under the supervision of AFAD to stand ready for duty at any moment for any possible disaster. As we have said, we are Beşirs. We see it as our duty to the humanity to be there night and day in order to help the sad and timid people in need, wherever they are, from Edirne to Kars, from Somali to Arakan.
Beşir's hands reached out to every corner of the world. The du'as from our burning hearts flow from our lips. You are the cause of our good deeds, and we are the means. We are the shelter for the oppressed all around the world. We are the shelter for the oppressed all around the world. I'm Beşir, the herald of glad tidings for all Muslims. I'm Beşir, the herald of glad tidings for all Muslims. Thread by thread the story was woven in our history. Thread by thread the story was woven in our history.
We are a huge family. We do it to win the hearts from the depths of our hearts. Beşir Association. We create opportunities to perform good deeds.